Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network. No, I was talking about Trump urging his supporters to protest at local courthouses all over the country, just like pro-Palestinian protesters. I was explaining the difference that in the scenario, he is Netanyahu. But what I mean,
I'm going. I'm bringing the shawarma. Let's go to the courthouses for Trump. That's shawarma for Trump. It's going to be amazing. He is so pathetically needy. He feels left. He's watching the protests for Palestinian humanity. He's going, "Where are my protests? Why am I not getting that?" He doesn't criticize any of it. He's not getting into is it there anti-Semitism or not. He just wants people to idolize him and protest for him. It is so pathetic. Oh my God!
Regardless of what you think of every aspect of the issue, Dean, they're protesting a genocide against innocent people. He is guilty. He's trying to compare himself. I mean, what is it this week? He was Jesus and Mandela last week, I think. I mean, it's. I mean, you made a good point. You were talking about.
I did.
You always do. But Ro Khanna voted against the Israel aid, and he said it was a stance against a blank check to Netanyahu. And you always make that distinction too. You know, you said he said we wanted to make it clear there has to be a change in strategy and no more famine and suffering in Gaza. You know, and I know you say it all the time, criticizing the policies of Netanyahu is not anti-Semitism. Many Israelis agree with you, right?
Sure. Look, there are certain people who completely understand that. There are others who don't really want you to criticize anything about Israeli policy, so they'll throw out, "Oh, it's anti-Semitic." I think that's kind of losing its traction. I think people are getting it because it's so in our face with this conflict in Gaza. But look, there should be conditions on anyone we're giving foreign aid to, that we're giving our military weapons to, that you can't violate human rights laws. And technically, there really is the Foreign Security, I think, Assistance Act, I think it's called, but it's not specific in this case with Israel. I'm all for giving Israel the Iron Dome. Netanyahu, even though I despise Netanyahu, the Iron Dome, it protects people. My fiance's family lives in Haifa. They're Palestinians. They were born there. But so when Iran was firing missiles at Israel, my fiance was running around freaking out because she was fearful for her family's going to get killed.
Yeah.
And I share that. So I live in this bizarre world where there are Palestinians living in Israel. 20% of the country are Palestinians. And in Iran, they would kill my family in the West Bank. Their missiles don't know any better. They're not that sophisticated. We need a global peace solution. And I think solving the Palestinian crisis with a state for the Palestinian people is a big step in pulling away the passion of those who are really, truly anti-Israel. They're like, well, there's a Palestinian state now. Let's focus on building that up and make it economically sustainable and thrive.
And also, you're part Sicilian, so you're just a hot 23andMe mess. I don't. You are just.
By the way, I did 23andMe. I'm exactly what I claim to be. I'm exactly half Palestinian, half Sicilian. The difference is my Arab side is all spread out from from middle Africa through like Saudi. The Italian side, they just put the lawn chair down in Italy like we're here.
All right. Now, take your lawyer hat off, put your Muslim hat on for the most, the most confusing hate tweet I've gotten about the show recently. William tweeted this morning, sad to see that you have Palestinian genocide denier Dean on. Why do you hate the Palestinians so much? So I don't, that's very confusing, but so are all of the politics surrounding this whole... I have to get your take on, Avi. There's a lot going on at Columbia, my alma mater, USC.
Right.
We just talked about, this week you tweeted USC calls off all speaker appearances at the 2024 commencement after canceling its Muslim valedictorian speech. USC is so committed to ensuring a student who's pro-Palestinian humanity not be permitted to speak. They've now canceled all speakers. This is like white supremacists during Jim Crow, who instead of following court orders allowing black people to use public pools, they closed the pool to all. I said that I, think she should be allowed to speak. But, clearly security is becoming a concern. I know we're in your backyard over there in Columbia. The difference to me, Dean, is you've always been a very strong voice against anti-Semitism. Obviously, as a Palestinian, that's been very powerful, that there is a difference between protest and standing up for Palestinians and anti-Semitism. What's your take on what's happening on campuses?
Well, I think this is a human issue. We should all stand up against hate. And I posted this morning, and I've read articles in the past during other conflicts, that there is no place for anti-Jew hatred on the side of Palestinian advocates or Palestinian humanity. If you hate Jews, we don't want you. I don't want you advocating for my family in the West Bank if you're a Jew hater.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's the number one thing. Make it clear, your criticism, make it about the policy. Use the name Benjamin Netanyahu because it's his policies and his military. And this week alone, I shared stories of heartbreaking of children killed playing foosball in a refugee camp in a daytime military drone strike. CNN did a great reporting of it, showing the family crying after the bodies were literally picked up. There was no defense of that. Talk about that. That's what moves people. This girl was 10 years old. Her name was like Shadi. And you're like, these are the stories. Don't demonize Jews for the actions of Netanyahu. I think some younger people just don't know enough. I mean, honestly, because they hear Israel and they hear Jewish state and they might think there's some connection between the two. I can assure you, Netanyahu is not looking at the religious text before he orders a military strike on Gaza.
Yeah.
He's a right-wing politician who's driven by a right-wing agenda.